Okay. Should we go in there? Look. Now look at this. This is a £50 bag for a junkie, right? All he needs is a hacksaw, right? Take that bike off, sell it tomorrow. What, you want
I'll
to
pay
be
you
a
back.
star?
I'll be a star, yeah. Why not?
I'm all that stands between the death of fucking Irish culture and the life of Irish culture.
Down a dirty old street, the angel of the east is calling, and with a trembling hand I open up a can. I can hear a baby bawling. Before
When I
open up my eyes.
fell in love with him was when I actually saw the sensitive side, and that was quite early on. That was, maybe I was about 20. So, 14 years ago.
Victoria, left me in a real euphoria, when a fat moon singing Gloria, like girl with green eyes.
Sometimes I think he romanticizes me in the same way that he romanticizes Ireland, or it's almost like the me that he writes about doesn't really exist. I'm an imaginary figure, like I'm like an Aisling or something. It's obvious that it's not really me. It's a a romantic ideal. I think he's an idealist taken to an extreme. He's not really as much of a realist as you might like to think.
Oh, you see that I'm lazy, I don't care about fame, nor money like a child, and I'm just like a child that's forgotten how to smile.
We knew he was brilliant at writing and English and all that kind of thing. And Murr said, I suppose you'll probably earn your living as a writer. He said, I will, Dad, but not in the way you're talking about. I learned my living, he said, through music, writing through music, because that's the way you communicate with people nowadays. It's a much better form of, wider form of communication. I remember him saying that.
You're a little bit pissed. Are you? A little bit. You enjoyed yourself. You enjoyed yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose, you see, I thought it might be more in the book form rather than the song form, But, I read, that's before 12. I knew around 12 it wasn't going to be that, because there was Bob Dylan blowing one ear out and the Grateful Dead blowing the other. So I knew there was something going on there.
Oh, it's like my number. Give me a raise.
Give us your number then.
Got a pen and paper. You got a pen and paper.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, here you are. I'm on your phone number. Do you want me to hold your drink while you're out?
Once I was out of school, I was all right, and I could use all the things that were good about London, like the drugs and the clubs and the loose women. And the Pistols were playing really good rock and roll, hard rock and roll. And what's more, they were my generation. And what's more, they were singing about how boring London was, and like they were being totally nihilistic, and that was the way I felt when I got out of the bed,
I was working in a shop. It wasn't a shop; it was a stall, a market stall at the end of Gerrard Street in Soho, in London. And one day Shane walked into the stall, and he was slightly shook looking, is what I'd say. He had matted, long hair down to his shoulders, heavily caked with one thing or other, I don't know what, and he looked a bit dazed. He said that he had been in hospital. You know, I knew he was on pills or something like that, but he was lucid whenever he started talking, and he just started to hang around the shop. As soon as he discovered what was happening in the punk scene, which was just yourself, whatever talent you thought you had, and if you felt you could make it, get out there and do it. And Shane did it.
There's one punk there, the Sex Pistols. The rest of them are rubbish. I'm not interested. What's more, I probably wouldn't have been that interested in them if Johnny Rotten hadn't been so bloody obviously Irish, you know? And made a big noise about it and made such anti-English records, you know? No future in England's dreaming.
Punk was speed fueled, which is why everybody was so bloody obnoxious and spitting in your face and getting aggressive and fighting and all the rest of it. But that was the scene, the youth scene, mods, punks, Northern Soul. It was all speed, and that would have been the general drug, speed and drink.
God save the Queen. She's made you a moron.
He started producing a fanzine, was the first I heard of his creative bent. And Shane came in with his fanzine and started selling that. And then the next thing I knew, he was putting a band together.
I'm honest, listen baby, I'll tell you something that I feel now. Got a crazy, crazy feeling. You know you gotta set it free now. Got a feeling deep inside that's getting much too big time. It's yo, I need you, infatuation. Yo, I need you, infatuation.
Myself and my partner in the shop at the time decided that we would try and manage the Nips, as they were then called. Well, actually, they were called the Nipple Erectors, but we had a problem in that people didn't want nipple erectors on posters, or it was supposed to be sexist, which I could never understand since everybody's got them. But we had to shorten it from the Nipple Erectors to the Nips.
I gotta let go, gotta calm. I need you, I need you.
He's well known as a very good lyricist, a poet even for the Pogues stuff that he writes. But even the stuff that he was writing for the Nips was, if you had taken it out of the pop context and put an air to it, it still would have been, it could have been a Pogue song, Things like Gabrielle, let's go down to the old West End, like we used to do when you were my girlfriend, take a 73 to the city, you sitting there looking so pretty.
The crap I write for the Nips or write my sleep, is pop, it was a teenage interlude, I never stopped writing adolescent crap, It's just some people can't tell the real, pap, the real thing,
He always said he wanted to be a pop star. always, you know, and he said he wasn't going to hang around. He was going to be a pop star. And when he first, like when the Noisy Boysies first began, which later became the Pogues, I remember we went down to see the first gig. Must have been just about the first gig down in Steve Stanger's club. And there was us and one or two others and a bunch of squaddies, I think, who were just back from Northern Ireland, who were all eating chips and proceeded to pelt the stage with chips throughout. And there was Shane up on the stage, sort of singing Paddy Works on the Railroad and Irish songs.
Size Maya, what's a euro? Got to the waxing star, this is euro, what's a Maya? I got a burden. I went up to Montauk Town to see and kill the girl. But he wouldn't give me half a crack. I got to the waxing star.
It should have occurred to me so fucking obvious the fucking thing to do, to fucking play really good Irish songs to a young rock audience.
You know, the Pogues could never have been an Irish band indigenously. It could never have happened in Ireland. I'm absolutely certain of that. It would never have happened from within the island. The Pogues needed to happen from the diaspora, if you like, Mary Robinson's memorable phrase. It needed to happen from... It's like there's two Irelands. There's the people who live on the island and there's the people who went away or who are second generation. And very often, you know, that gives a different point of view on the culture, on what it is to be Irish.
He affected a lot of Irish people in London at the time for the better in a huge way, just by making it possible to kind of claim back some sense of pride in being Irish, because, like, putting it into context, you had the Bolcombe Street siege, you had bombs going off right, left and centre. There was a lot of racism in London at the time and a lot of anti-Irish talk every time there was another bomb. So for him to turn around and kind of celebrate his Irish culture was a very strange thing, and to give voice to his experience of it was, and like in the lyrics and when he began writing the songs, that was what was such a huge revelation with the Pogues.
All I did was take extremely old-fashioned Irish music, proper Irish music, people's or old-fashioned, you know, in terms of people like Horslips and Planksty and Dan and right, and like the music, you know, Katie music and, you know, jigs, reels, like lyrics about drinking, fucking, fighting, you know, like you know, romantic lyrics about love and fucking and rebellion and whatever, you know, yeah.
Last night as I slept, I jumped on my bed, I shook him by the hand, and we passed the time of day when questioned on his views. And I cracks the voice philosophy, he had no needs too clear, a simple words to say. I am going, any which way the wind may be blowing. I am going, where streams of whiskey are flowing. I'll curse, blood and sword, jump bail and landed up in jail. I was up and tried to stretch me, but the rope always went slack. And now on another pile, I'll go down to the Chelsea. I'll walk in on my feet, but I'll lay there on my back because I'm going. I am going, any which way the wind may be blowing. I am going, where streams of whiskey are flowing. Yeah!
I'm going where the streams of whiskey are flowing. It's not exactly in Arranmore in the county Galway one summer's evening in the month of May. I met a damsel, both fair and handsome. She nearly took my breath away, is it? You know.